The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From the heart of Broadway in historic downtown Cape Girardeau, this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted.
It's March 13th, 2019, and if you've been trying to keep up with us on Facebook today, middle fingers, because it ain't working. It's Pro Wrestling Unscripted here on the Podzilla 1985 network. They can't stop us on Podbean, though. Here we are live and in color, baby. We're going to the pay window, baby. I'm not into this at all. My name is Shannon Young. I'm going to be your host tonight. Down at the end of the table, Asa Gray, the 5-star man.
Yes.
To my right, Allie A. Bear.
Hello.
Or should I call you Sarah?
No.
Okay. And then to my left, the Big D, Dalton Anthony.
Which Sarah are we talking about?
Woods.
Oh, cool. Yo.
So she got Allie got a new haircut.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Well, it's someone Allie used to work with.
someone
Allie got a new
yeah.
haircut,
Oh, okay.
and the moment she came in and I saw her haircut, I was like, "You look like Sarah," and she's like, "I know." She agreed completely. So I've been, of course, calling her Sarah the entire time, just to really establish the friendship there.
Fair.
Because did you know that her real initials are ACH?
God damn it.
Apologize so many times.
If you want to know
I
why
feel
Asa,
so bad.
why Asa feels so bad to ACH, you're going to have to listen to the pre-show. That's just $1 on patreon.com/Podzilla1985.
Just wait till next month.
All right, guys, we're here to talk about pro wrestling tonight. I posed a question to the group before the show as we were talking about ACH. What is the dumbest name that you can recall in professional wrestling? Like, what wrestler did you hear their name and you just went, that's a bad name? Why did they name them that? And I'm kind of curious what you guys came up with, because it seems like an easy question because your brain goes, oh, there have been so many bad names. But then the moment you try to think of one, your brain freezes. And
I got
you
two.
What do you got?
I have two.
I'll
That
let
street to mind, you go.
Shockmaster and Crowbar.
I disagree with both of those.
I don't know.
Shockmaster today, yes.
Shockmaster in the 90s.
in 1990 whatever.
Yeah.
When that happened, like, okay, you could I could kind of see that. And Crowbar just sounds like a comic book villain. So I mean, I can't be too mad at that. The ones that came to my mind were Dolph Ziggler,
That's a pretty bad name.
because that's a terrible name.
That sounds like a porn name.
We're just used to it now.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going back to remembering like when he was first like rebranded.
Right.
And hearing that and just being like, really? Like, I get they're trying to go for the Diggler.
Dirk Diggler?
Yeah, the Dirk Diggler thing. But
Right.
but why? Is this something that needed to be done?
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And then my other one is Kazarni.
Oh, the WWF brief wrestler, like the carnival wrestler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Edge and Christian's like best friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who they got hired and like was going through like everything, and then he just kept getting those vignettes of, and not only was his name terrible, he spoke in Carney speak,
Yeah.
which was just putting the Z in everything, which was
That's one of those things that I didn't get the gimmick. Like, I didn't get it.
It
So
was a very insider gimmick.
it was super inside.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he like wrestled like 4 times on SmackDown and then got released. 'cause-
I say insider. It was a very old school insider thing.
Yeah, like
early
actual old
wrestling.
Yeah.
Carney wrestling.
Also, I want to give a special shout out to every wrestler who had to drop a name. So
Big E.
like Andrade,
Yeah.
like just
Cesaro.
yeah, it's like Rusev. Just
Right.
some of them, like again, I think it's just that we're used to it.
Yeah.
But no, like Antonio Cesaro. That sounded so cool.
That sounds sexy
Alexander
as hell,
Rusev.
Too. Yeah.
Like it made them seem like more than just a 2D. Like I'm the Futurama robot fighting league.
Right.
I'm from my own country. I have my own customs. Exactly.
Shit.
Adrian Neville's the one that like killed me the most for some reason.
For taking away their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, also like.
But that being said, I think it should have been Almas instead of Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I feel like if you just give him a first name, that's really weird.
Yeah, that's it.
But if you give him a last name, I can at least understand it. Like Cesaro works.
Yeah.
Right.
Neville works.
Because if it had been Antonio.
The only time that it really worked was Big E.
Because it was just a letter.
Yeah, because that wasn't even a name.
It's a
That's
nickname, yeah.
The only two that I could think of off the top of my head was, and I think it's because the gimmick was so bad, Kerwin White. Because who the hell, Kerwin? Kerwin.
It's literally the widest name I could think of.
Yeah, but if you spelled it with a Y, it would fit right in 2019.
Well, he'd also have to be like 8, but yeah.
Just saying.
And the other one was when Sandman went to WCW and he was called Hardcore Hack.
Oh, yeah.
That was just the dumbest name to me as a kid. And if we're just saying like regular names, not even nicknames.
But it was spelled just like
H-A-K.
H-A-K.
Yeah. Like you had, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
get
but
it.
I'm so I hear that and I'm like, if this is in maybe this it was meant as an insult because
A hack.
he's a hack.
Yeah.
he's a hardcore.
He's a
hack.
hardcore hack. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
That never landed until just now.
Do you guys know that dude's like a legit millionaire?
Sandman?
Yeah.
I mean, he has to be if he's affording Metallica for his entrances.
And that much beer.
No,
Very
like he's
cheap.
a legit millionaire. Like he like owned a like whenever he started working for ECW and started making money, he actually bought a construction company, which became a really big it was a big company. And then right when he signed in like 2006 to WWE, he sold it, made like $3 million, and then like that's why he came back in just amazing shape. Because he didn't have to do anything. So he just started working out all the time.
Okay, so this is going to be the most rich thing I've ever said. But, I mean, $3 million isn't a lot.
But he's been able to keep it.
You know what I mean?
No, see, that was the thing.
He's
Like
going to like PGA tours and just hanging out with people now. Like that's what like.
So he doesn't spend any money. He just goes to the PGA Tour, eats for free, and everybody's like,
Probably,
who is that?
like-
He's loaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
He
much
belongs
money.
here.
But yeah, no, like
I'm
apparently
picturing he's still just like I'm imagining that Sandman's not a character. That's just
No,
how he is.
so, like, yeah, no,
He's
on his
going-
Twitter-
he's going to the PGA Tour, just like busting himself open with beer cans.
But he'll be like, I think my favorite one was he was on Twitter and got a picture of Tiger Woods. Like, I don't think he was with Tiger Woods. I think he legit just got a picture of Tiger Woods. And it was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Tiger Woods, yeah. Like, it was basically Beavis and Butthead, but at the PGA Tour and super happy to see Tiger Woods, which is the most, like, not Sandman thing you could ever think of.
And to be fair, he does look like Beavis and Butthead.
Put together.
Put
Yeah,
together.
Their love child.
Yeah. James Fullington, which sounds like a rich name.
Yeah, he just hangs out with his son and goes to golf tours.
He was born into
that sounds
it.
like he probably started a millionaire too.
Well, he got a small $1 million loan from his dad.
Yeah, that's it.
It's nothing much.
And bought so much Coors Light with it.
Also, the worst wrestling nickname of all time. Nickname, you got it. The Fat Chick Thriller. Mike Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I think
It's hard to
hands
beat
down.
that.
Yeah.
Ali, is there a name that you remember hearing for the first time and just being like, "That's not real"?
Seth Rollins.
No.
Post Malone.
It's not wrestling.
To be fair, yes.
Wait, his name's not Post Malone. That's just his rap name, right?
It's
His
something
last name
Malone.
is Post.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Wasn't it like Johnny Post or something? Jimmy Post? Jimmy
See,
Ray?
that's a
Something
cool name.
Post.
I'm looking it
That
up.
sounds like a cool
I'm
kid
kinda
name.
curious.
It goes back to Scott Phoenix.
That sounds like a just a douchebag wrestling heel.
Aust-
Johnny Post.
You know, like whenever he said worst names, I was gonna say Scott Phoenix, and not because I think it's a bad name, but it's because Elijah Petty is such an empirically better
His
name.
real name is better.
Austin Richard Post is Post Malone.
Okay.
Where we got Malone from? That's a different topic for a different.
Yeah, that's a whole other show. Y'all can talk about that tomorrow.
He really
right?
liked the Spirit of St. Louis, the NBA team. He's like, I like Moses
because we didn't do
Malone a lot.
CCW live tonight, but that doesn't mean we need to leave at 10:30.
Yeah, no, that was an unfortunate thing. So if you did tune in to watch us at CCW Live, we do apologize. It's really not our fault. Facebook has been down all day. It's incredibly hard to post anything, much less
Try to
do
broadcast
show.
a live video.
So yeah, sorry about that, guys. We'll be back next week, hopefully. We have to be because it's the week of the show, March Madness 3. Well, let's get to the news in the world of wrestling this week, and let's start off by I want to see if this is on the list real quick. Okay, you don't have it on the list, and I wondered because. Did this happen and we talked about it last week, or am I crazy? Ronda Rousey and her post,
No, I mean we talked about it in the build up for Fastlane, but we didn't. It was to me it was not worth just talking about her being stupid on Twitter.
Okay, but we did talk about it. We
Yeah,
mentioned it, right? Okay.
yeah, we talked about because we mentioned the whole like
It's all fake.
it's all
bullshit.
it's all fake and
Because I really couldn't get it in my head. I thought, oh, we should talk about this because that's a stupid thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought, but did that happen before last week's show or after? I couldn't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was before.
It's been during. In fairness,
Point is,
Yeah.
if you know what it is, you've already had it run into the ground anyway. So
because the meme wasn't a thing. That was very much a Saturday thing because I woke up Saturday seeing it.
Yeah.
Like the video. So like,
Well, yeah,
all
because she
the-
didn't do the video until later.
the tweets were definitely. I don't know if like.
And I think the video is the one that offended me the most. And I
haven't seen the video yet.
Oh, and I read the transcript. I couldn't watch it because I knew, like, even though I know this is a part of an angle, you know, like this is how they're kind of trying to present her, I was still getting upset about it just because, again, the point of it was everything you see in WWE is fake except me. I'm real. And I hate that. And I asked that question on Facebook, and a lot of our friends from Stride and CCW weighed in on what they thought about it. And I respect everybody's opinion. My personal opinion on it is that that doesn't help anybody. That just...
I remember
maybe
when,
I'm the only one in the world that when you say everything else is fake, it's fake, I'm the only thing that's real, you then separate the product from her versus everything else, and it takes me out emotionally from everything else.
Well, and now that, like, because I remember when Brock Lesnar came in and was like, yeah, I couldn't hack it in the real fighting, so now I'm back to the fake stuff. This is way better. Look how much better I am at the fake stuff.
Was he ever like that?
No, that was my point.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like,
so to be fair to Dalton, my Rolodex was going like, okay, when did he say it? Because he's an asshole.
yeah, I was just like, wait, I don't. I was like, I said he.
No, yeah,
he
he
was like,
never-
he
no,
said
he
he was
never-
adding legitimacy to the sport to sports
Yeah,
entertainment.
and
Which that's a
'cause-
great thing to say.
Yeah, you can mention that, hey, I'm awesome at this, and now I'm going to be awesome at this. And, like, everything that Ronda is saying, aside from it's
fake.
fake, is great. It's good heel
Those
stuff.
bitches can't touch me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Huh.
now kid gloves are coming off. You're, I tried to be sportsman about it. I tried to follow the, WWE way. You people rejected me. So now
Screw it.
I'm just going to kick ass.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You don't need to go after the whole, like,
It's fake.
oh, it's fake. This is fake. Also, because not only when you do that, it's not just fake in that bubble.
Right.
It's, so now Triple H and Batista, well, that's fake.
Yeah.
The
Kofi Kingston's.
Kofi Kingston, that's fake.
Yeah.
Like everything now, it's
There-
why it
it's-
brings
it's-
down the entire product.
It's like when Scott Hall in WCW said, "Don't watch WCW, it sucks."
Yeah.
Like, was that supposed to
Hey,
get...
he's right. Click.
Yeah,
Like,
let's watch WWE instead. Well, don't watch this shit. It's fake, except for me. Well, I'm not going to watch anything then.
and then it's this, and then I don't understand the point of it. Like, so are we supposed to believe now that? Okay, so Ronda's now going to fight for real.
Everything else
So
before
now,
that was fake.
so now Becky and Charlotte are going to have a real life fight with Ronda Rousey, and now when Becky beats both of them, she did that legit
For real.
Like that wasn't. Oh, she wasn't supposed to actually win.
Yeah.
Now she legit did it. Or like I don't.
Like, I get...
Is
I
that
think,
better? Is that a better story than just Becky beat the baddest woman on the planet and the multi-time
The queen.
greatest women, the queen, the greatest women's wrestler of this generation? At the same time, is that better?
I think what it is, in my personal opinion, was that they decided, okay, if we do this, people are going to tune in for that Austin feel of, you blur the lines of reality so much, what might Ronda do? Like, what could she, if she's this pissed off, she might actually hurt somebody, you know? But the problem with that is, like, the writing's not strong enough to portray her in that way. When she came back to Raw and did basic heel stuff, like, it completely undercut everything she said in that video. She had a lot of conviction in that video, and the words that she said, I didn't agree with the things said. But, yeah, they completely cut the legs out of her from her immediately. So she can go on her Twitter rants and her video rants and talk about it. But the moment she steps in WWE and she gets on screen and she's just following the script clearly, it's a moot point. Like,
yeah,
what's
dumb.
the meaning
And then,
behind it?
like, especially like with Charlotte's comeback, Ronda can't come back from that. It's like you're the baddest woman on the planet. Holmes and Nunez have something to say about that probably,
Right.
because the last two fights you were left unconscious and sobbing.
Well, I'm pretty sure all the wrestlers shit on her. Like, even
Because they
Rusev.
should've. Well, yeah.
Even sweet Rusev.
Rusev and Lana all did. It was the same. Like the Tyler, we talked about the Tyler Breeze, Luke Harper.
Yeah, which was fantastic.
Thing.
That was the best part. Best part of this whole part.
Yeah. Just,
Next time, pick up someone who's on TV, bitch.
Oh, my
account got hacked.
Mine too, bitch.
So that's that thing, and we are curious about what you guys think, though. If you are actually excited by the Ronda Rousey thing, let us know why. We would love to hear your opinion on it. We 100% mean that. We're not going to shit on you for it. Everyone has a right to their own opinion. So please, leave a message, shoot us a message, email us, whatever. We want to know what you think about it. But moving on to the rest of the news of the week, this is huge. Jushin. Well, I'm done.
Jushin.
I'm out. I'm done.
Jushin Thunder Liger.
Jushin Thunder Liger, who is legit one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And the first time I said his name on the show, I'm pretty sure I botched it. Announced he is retiring in January.
Yep.
Which is sad, and also at the same time, I don't know. I'm gonna look up how old he is, but I think he's in his 50s, isn't he?
Yeah.
And to wrestle the way he's been wrestling.
He's another one of like, So he's not going to die. He's just going to be like this. The devil is just going to come up and take his soul as payment that was promised to him.
54 years old.
Yeah, that's
Is
not.
what he is.
I actually thought he was older.
Yeah, because that's Angle's age, isn't it?
That's no
That's
spring
why-
chicken still.
Right.
But
Angle's younger.
Especially like you guys said, for the way he wrestled. You might remember him from a couple years ago. He wrestled Tyler Breeze in NXT.
On NXT.
Which was a very cool match. I also remember him from, I believe, in the WCW era.
Yeah.
I loved him in WCW. He had one of the most iconic looks of any wrestler ever. And whenever...
still does.
He still does, yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you would do the create a wrestler in the old wrestling games, the first person that people would create was almost always Jushin Thunder Liger. Plus that name,
Yeah.
Jushin Thunder Liger. That's just a cool name. And a liger, as Allie knows, is my favorite animal.
Is Thunder your favorite storm?
No, it scares me.
Thank you for that.
What is the retirement date? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's Wrestle Kingdom.
It's Wrestle Kingdom.
His after at the next Wrestle Kingdom will be his last match.
And I'm
So I'm
so glad he can walk off into the right off into the sunset.
yeah.
You know,
I'm curious to see like what they do because I feel like that's not just going to be I don't know. New Japan. It could go either way. It could just be hey, here's a spotlight match for one of the like all-time greats.
Him versus Ospreay, something like that.
Yeah, or it could end up being like much more story driven, where like they turn it into like a personal feud. Because I'm curious if they unmask him.
oh, I hope not.
I don't think they will. But
It's that option's there.
But yeah, it's that thing where that could be like, and especially for those old school, go out on your back type thing,
Right.
like that would put over like not Jay White because he's already kind of there, but
Yeah.
like if they are gonna look to really kind of cement like an up and comer,
yeah.
especially as a heel, like that could be a way to do that.
Dalton, I'm going to address this question to you because I feel like you and Asa I don't know who knows the most about it. I just address it to you because it gives you more time to talk. Because Asa and I talk a lot. Wrestling masks in Japan. What is the tradition versus Mexico? Because we know in Mexico it's very, very serious business. When Rey Mysterio lost his mask in WCW, it was almost insulting to his family. In Japan, is it as strict as that?
Yeah. It is as strict, but they also do a lot more of the same, like different people have worn the same mask.
Like Tiger Mask and
Tiger Mask, Black Tiger Mask, stuff like that. But like Liger, I want to say Liger is like the only one that it has been him the entire time. And even if like I'm not 100% sure if it's as sacred. Like I know the mask is a super important thing in Japan, but I don't know if it's Lucha Libre like levels of that.
Right.
But honestly, he, like you say, masked wrestler Japan, Jushin Thunder Liger should be the number one that you think of every time.
He is, for me.
And I mean, but I mean, it's because he's the only one that's been under that mask for that long, and like he is thrown out, like he throws out pitches at like the first pitches at baseball games in Japan.
Yeah.
Like he's a very important person in Japanese wrestling. Like I would put him up there with like Antonio Inoki and stuff like that. Like not as like company important, but as just like cultural wrestling.
Recognize.
Like, yeah, like he is.
I would say also, would you say that he's one of the most successful Japanese wrestlers to make the transition into America? Because his run in WCW was very important. I can't think of many, especially in that time period, because nowadays I feel like it's not easier, but they're more recognized because you have more access to Japanese wrestling now. Whereas back in the 90s and the 80s and stuff, we didn't see a lot of Japanese wrestling in the United States. The great Muda, obviously was in WCW.
Yeah.
Taka Michinoku in WWF. But Thunder Liger was one of the most recognizable Japanese wrestlers growing up in the United States even.
Yeah, and like it's also super like I wouldn't it's hard to say that he's the like most recognizable or most successful because I can say Jushin Thunder Liger and like we'll know who that is. But if I go out to the street and ask fans,
Would they know?
They may not know him. Whereas if I say Shinsuke Nakamura or Asuka,
That's true. Yeah.
like and it's no knock on Liger. I love Liger to death.
Which is they're part of the WWE machine.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you only have, like, it's hard for me to say, yes, he is the most successful Japanese wrestler that made it in America. I'm lying
Right.
because he didn't
He didn't have the machine.
he wasn't in WWE, which at this point, is wrestling in America.
That's
Yeah.
something that I was going to ask you. Do you think he's going to go in the Hall of Fame?
I think he is the one wrestler right now that deserves the most, that has never worked in WWE, that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And I don't count the one match. Like,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
he did it.
Yeah, he did NXT.
But
Like long term, you mean?
Yeah, like he never
an
had
extended period.
Yeah, he never worked like an extended thing in for WWE. Any wrestler that you can say that about, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame the
He
most.
is also, and so like moving away from like if the America part, but like he is the most decorated junior heavyweight in Japan.
Of all time.
He's
yeah.
like he has the most reigns as junior heavyweight champion. I think he still has the longest reign.
And
even
I do want to point out that the WWE Hall of Fame, even though it is a WWE Hall of Fame, has made it very clear with some of the people that have come in before that the success does not have to just be from WWE. And we'll actually talk about that in a couple minutes because the newest Hall of Fame induction. But, you look no further than Sting. Sting only wrestled, 4 matches in WWE?
yeah, something like that.
And he made the Hall of Fame. So I think Jushin Thunder Liger's his presence in Japan alone will get him into the Hall of Fame. The fact that he worked in WCW gave him, I think, the door.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I
and
mean?
plus even just like him appearing in NXT, I think is going to be enough that they'll be able to point at as like a WWE appearance.
Drew Carey
type
only
thing.
made one appearance, and he
Yeah.
did Hall
Which
of Fame.
the celebrity wing is
the celebrity
different.
wing. Yeah.
I punch down. It makes me feel like
I think
a big
Sting
man.
only had 3 matches in WWE.
Seth Rollins for sure.
Seth
Triple
Rollins,
H.
Triple H,
And the
then
tag match.
Yeah, only 3 matches. Wow. I mean, that being said, Sting definitely deserved to be in the Hall
I mean,
of
it's
Fame.
Sting.
Right,
Yeah, it's Sting.
Yeah.
But in the same context, you can say, but it's Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yeah.
Like he absolutely deserves to be in there. And speaking of which, let's just skip a story to go to it since we're talking about the Hall of Fame. Newest Hall of Fame induction, and boy, I'm so happy about this one. Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
Legitimately maybe my favorite tag team of all time.
I'm
I'm gonna take care of the phone really quick.
thank you.
I don't think I like them as much as you do. But I always I've always liked Booker T.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed Harlem Heat because Booker T was in it. I also like Stevie Ray a lot. Like,
do too.
Because I remember thinking like, oh, when they split, like
Who's the Marty Jannetty?
Not even that. Like, well, I mean, at that point, I don't think I was thinking that critically in wrestling.
Right.
I was just like, oh, there's like 2 new people that are going to be like super crazy successful.
Yeah.
That was half right.
And Booker T was definitely the more talented of the two. And that's not a shot at Stevie Ray. It's like saying
Booker T is one of the okay, here's a hot take for you. Booker T will go down as one of the most underrated professional wrestlers of all time.
agreed. Yeah. And
Of course you do. You're all cowards and followers.
I mean, I've always thought of Booker T was amazing.
I'll tell it to Heath and see what he says because he's not afraid to disagree with me.
Stevie Ray, I think, gets a lot of shit.
That's
too.
what I think. Okay, one, you're definitely afraid. I'll get the bent neck lady, and you'll just like text me like, "Oh, my light bulb's out upstairs."
Beat myself again.
Well,
Again.
fuck Asa.
Heath
There you
doesn't-
go.
Heath doesn't care enough about me to lie. He doesn't know how fragile I am.
Stevie Ray was always so much bigger than Booker T, and I think that's why I liked him. Because Booker T was more agile and faster. But every time I saw Stevie Ray, I was like, Jesus.
He was
That-
looking real jack, baby.
That's a big man
That's
right
the
there.
definition of a brick shit house.
They were such a good tag team. The music, oh my God, the music. Like, I know Booker T still uses a variation of that theme.
Yeah.
But the original Harlem Heat theme is probably one of my top 10 easy wrestling themes of all time. Their look, like the iconic outfits, the all red with the flames.
The Street Profits tried to
Adapt.
pay homage
Yeah.
to that.
Did it go well?
It did not.
Were you
it.
with me whenever I found the both of them at like a TJ Maxx for $8 a piece, the Elites?
Harlem Heat?
I think
Yeah.
so. I might have been.
So like I couldn't find them anywhere whenever they first, and I was super excited. I was like, I'm buying both of them because like for some reason I found out in my in my Elite collection, I have a metric like butt ton of tag teams, and I could not like never find the wave that had Harlem Heat, and I finally found them at TJ Maxx for like $8 a piece.
That's another thing. So when I think of the great tag teams of all time, almost all of them have a cool tag team name. Like there are great tag teams now that are just thrown together that you take 2 of the greatest wrestlers of our generation, put them together, they should be a great tag team.
Yeah.
And they're serviceable, but they don't have that connection. But like the Rockers, the Steiner Brothers, Harlem Heat, the name alone, Harlem Heat.
The only exception to that rule is Edge and Christian.
Yeah,
Because they never, and that's something that always
give that
bugged,
to you.
That's something that's always bugged me about, not even like bugged me, like it's affected my enjoyment of them. Just, I wish they had a name. Because
Yeah.
it was, which it kind of set them apart from, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, and then,
Edge and Christian.
And then Edge and Christian,
Yeah.
ENC.
Yeah.
Which granted, they ended up doing like Team Eck and Team Wreck
Team
and
Wreck.
stuff like
I
that.
remember
which is
Wreck.
funny.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, I was really happy to like post in the group chat on Monday, be like, "Hey, Harlem Heat's in the Hall of Fame. We all cool?"
Yeah, the person that posted it, I almost thought it was almost like, boy, I wish it was them. I didn't realize until WWE posted that it was true.
Yeah.
And once I saw that it was true, I was very, very happy about it because, and I know this is going to be an unpopular take, I like Booker T better as a tag wrestler in Harlem Heat than I did as a singles wrestler. And I know that's unpopular. Like, I don't think he's bad. He's an amazing singles wrestler. But there was something about Harlem Heat.
They were just a really good tag team.
Yeah, like this is from the heart. There was something about Harlem Heat that literally like sparked joy. It sparked joy. And don't flip me off. I'm sorry.
Allie.
I'm sorry. Ack.
But yeah,
Team Ack.
I was.
You remember how they were supposed to go into WCW? Did you ever hear the story about what they were supposed to be originally?
Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Nope, it's
Did
in
you
my
ever
head
hear
now.
about it?
I feel like I know it, and as soon as you start talking about it, I'm going to remember it. And I
Well,
don't.
remember their original manager in WCW?
Colonel Robert Parker. Mm-hmm. He was going to lead them out.
Oh, was that the GI Bro?
No,
No, that's what he became.
Yeah, so they were going to lead. He was Colonel Robert Parker, the Southern white gentleman, was going to bring them out in
Oh,
chains.
yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
That is so uncomfortable. Like, who thought that was a good idea? I mean, it was the South, WCW, sure, but Jesus. Like,
I don't know. R-Truth came out in a Confederate uniform.
and that was hilarious.
It was amazing.
That was really cool. Harlem Heat really did well once they didn't get that gimmick.
Yeah, once they were like, hey, that's a terrible thing.
Hey, Booker T, Stevie Ray, we got two options for you. You can be the slaves to Colonel Robert Parker, or you could be a streetwise, hard, badass tag team called Harlem Heat.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Oh, my. There have been moments in poor Booker T's life that I wish we could avoid. That whole feud with Triple H, where he said people like you don't win world titles.
And then he proceeding to beat him for the title.
Them exploiting his arrest when he was a youth, putting his mugshot everywhere. When Vince McMahon said the N-word in front of him, like, that man deserves.
He deserves to be a two-time
Yeah, I was
Hall of
gonna
Famer,
say-
which they're getting a little liberal with that now, and I'm not a big fan.
The two-time thing?
I mean, there's three. It's Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and Booker T. Like, those are your three.
Oh,
And-
for some reason I was thinking Triple H was
Nope.
in it already.
Because Triple H isn't in Solo.
Yeah, no, and I just realized that. Like,
But he will be
Yeah, he
future
will be.
guaranteed, yeah.
but you're having two of them in the same night.
My only like I am not someone who thinks that the Harlem Heat doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame by any stretch. Like, I'm happy.
Oh
for
no,
them.
I'm happy
Like
they
I
are
said,
in too. Yeah.
If you're going for a tag team, I think there are other tag teams.
Especially WWE related.
Yeah, that I could point at as quote unquote more deserving, which
Right.
doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But no, it's still cool, especially. But the only reason I would hold off on Harlem Heat being inducted is because we just put Booker in 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was fairly recent.
But well deserved. You kids nowadays, you probably only know Harlem Heat from that. Hogan, we coming for the gold. We coming for you. Redacted.
No, I feel like people know. I feel like
They don't
most
know
people
Stevie Ray.
Yeah, they're not going
Yeah.
to be familiar with Stevie Ray, especially because when you think about how long Booker T was part of WWE.
Right.
Like, he was part of the initial, he was in that first main event in WCW. It was Booker T against Buff Bagwell.
Yep.
And then, he had that varying, he had the bad Triple H run, but then can we
He had the
remember King
iconic-
Booker?
Well, King and the iconic fight in the grocery store.
Yeah, with Steve
Stone
Austin.
Cold.
Yeah, it just, so
King Booker. Oh, I hated
all
King
hail
Booker.
King Booker.
Love
I
it.
hated it, and that's why I loved it so much.
Oh man. And I'm not you know what the sad part is, I'm not as big of a fan of Booker T now, like on commentary. Like, I think
No,
we've all
yeah,
said that.
it's not good.
No.
I love Booker T, but it's not good
No.
on commentary.
But if you think he's bad, go back to WCW and listen to Stevie Ray when he joined commentary.
Amazing.
Yak. That's my yak. All right. So congratulations to Harlem Heat, Booker T, and Stevie Ray. Absolutely deserved. I'm so happy for them. One of my favorite tag teams. I'm excited. Moving on. I saw this today, and as soon as I saw it, it was canceled. And that's the WWE Eminem deal, apparently. So tell us about it.
So it was leaked by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, who is he's a very credible source when it comes to reporting wrestling news. He reported that Eminem signed a deal, or Eminem's team or whatever signed a deal with WWE for him to cultivate and do the soundtrack for WWE 2K20 and to have him appear on Smackdown when it moves to Fox at some point later this year.
Right.
So that gets leaked or reported. Cut to a couple hours later, another news source is reporting that Eminem's team is reaching out and saying, "Nope, that's fake. Like we cannot. That is not a thing that is happening. That is not true. But then you have Sapp come back and be like, well, I got an inbox of people threatening to threaten legal action, whatever that means. And I'm sorry if I reported on this deal too soon, but I'm not the one signing an NDA.
Right.
Like, I'm being reported what I'm told.
I'm a reporter.
So there's a chance that him reporting this may have
Throwing the deal up.
may have just ruined the deal, and now that's not happening, which would suck. Especially when you consider someone on Reddit had the best comment of it. Of he offered to do it for free after what he saw Kevin Owens do to Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, that was funny.
And he would be the second most successful rapper to ever work with WWE,
I don't want to know.
which is pretty neat. Oh, you don't know who the first one is?
I don't know who you think the first one is.
ICP.
No, clearly Kevin Federline.
There you go.
When he was
God,
I knew it was gonna be-
forgot about that.
And then, like 2 days
mean-
later on Good Morning America, when he's like, "It didn't even." When that, oh yeah, John Cena's finisher, it didn't even hurt.
and that practically broke up. When I understand, that almost either did or led to breaking up with Britney Spears because he wanted to do it, and when he told her he was doing it, she reportedly laughed, and that like set him off because it meant something to him.
Well, good to her, because one of us came out. One of them came out.
One of them came out okay.
Ahead of that
Eventually.
K-Fed ended up on Celebrity Fit Club.
Yeah, because he was. But that was the weird fit club where he was just trying to fit more food into his mouth. You know,
He got fat real quick.
it's easy. It's easy.
Oh, yeah, it's way
easy
easy
to
to get-
gain, hard to lose, baby.
Yeah, so it's
Oh my God, was that a Dusty Rhodes promo?
It wasn't, but thank you.
So I would be honestly be bummed because I like Eminem a lot as a rapper. So I mean, I think him doing the soundtrack would be cool for
would.
2K 2020.
He's very hit and miss for me.
I don't really care about, especially like more recently, yeah. But I don't really care about him appearing on SmackDown because
It can only win two things.
What we got going on with SNL right now, like, yeah, keep all celebrities very far away.
Yeah, because it would either be that or it would just be a concert.
The Che and Jost. Is any of this even real?
My bad.
Which, to be fair to Che and Jost, they were told to say that.
Probably.
You
but
know?
you know what? I don't care. It's still happening on TV, and they're the ones saying it, so shut up.
But he sent him a car.
Jost on Twitter, which did you see what he tweeted about it?
I did.
Where he's like, hey, bud, that was a rental without the insurance.
Can you Venmo me?
I'll send you my Venmo. Catch these friends.
I like the catch these friends thing. That's
Which
very
was
funny.
funny. Like, so yeah, if we got to see that would be fine. The only thing I hate about them appearing is the whole, oh, is any of this even real? And then you were just choked for a 3-minute commercial break and just like, nope, same take, just...
I'm hoping it's the David Arquette thing where like he's such a fan
eventually
of
becomes
wrestling.
WWE champion.
No, I was gonna say that he's such
He'll
a
get
fan
it
of
before Kofi.
He's such a fan of wrestling
death
that
with my shoe.
they told him, hey, you want to be a part of Raw? And he was like, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got there, they said, here's what we want you to do, and he kind of went, well, I don't want to do this, but I really want to be a part of WWE, so okay.
I mean, if that's what you want your headcanon to be, I'm not going to stop you from it. But
It's the only thing that gets me to sleep at night.
Until I see something confirming that, I'm just going to be like, stop it.
I think Eminem being on a part of WWE is huge for them because they will do anything for big names.
Yep.
Clearly, they will do anything to get that like mainstream press, even if it's bad. I saw one story today about, and I think it was on 411. They were asking possible reason Vince McMahon continued with the Saudi Arabia deal, and I was like, well, if the article doesn't just say money, I'm going to click off of it. But it was a full article that basically said money. So Vince McMahon is all about the greens, and Eminem is going to bring in the green because whether you like him or not, Eminem is still one of the most recognizable rappers, and rightfully so. He's a legendary rapper. I'll give him that. He's no Post Malone, but
You bitch.
not everyone can be. Moving on.
Don't look at me like that, Allie. Ack.
We talked about retiring early with Jushin Thunder Liger. We actually had another retirement announced, and that is Brie Bella is announced her retirement. I actually saw this a couple days ago. She wants to have another baby. Because one Brian baby's not enough. She needs 2. She needs 5. But we'll see how Daniel feels about that. I don't know why everyone's looking at me. Like I feel
Let
like I
it
made an
die.
offensive joke, but like I didn't for once. I am personally sad to see Brie go. I think she got a bad rap for the Liv Morgan thing. Well, no, she really did.
She
to
was
be fair.
treated. I will agree that she was treated unfairly by some of the more extreme side of the internet.
Like she made a mistake, she screwed up,
Mm-hmm.
but like she said, she's been doing this for so long. She hurt one person, and she felt bad about it. But like the level of hate she got for it,
Well, and it was that,
over the top.
It was that, and that's what I'm saying. Is like, yes, she got a bad Like,
Right.
But when you look at it, wasn't based on just that one incident.
No, she
and
had-
to say that it was just based on that one incident is ingenuous and totally disregards like the legitimate criticisms people have against her.
Which I hope that's not how I sounded, because that's not what I meant, was that
Yeah.
one thing is why she got hate.
And
No.
yeah, absolutely. People like went nuts about it, and way over the top and way more than what was acceptable.
Yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, like, I think kind of the way she tries to portray it is disingenuous a little bit, to kind of, because she kind of plays that up a little bit more.
Like for pity, you
Yeah,
think?
like, well, I mean, and she really kind of shines a spotlight on the worst part of it without really acknowledging
Everything else.
Again, the legitimate, legitimate criticisms people have. That said,
Especially
yeah,
her return.
yeah, and that said, like, I don't. This is one of those where it's like I have no reason to not believe her, but the fact that we now have a women's tag team championship and the Bella Twins have never been like in contention for it.
Yeah.
It makes me think that I don't know.
It may be a wrestling retirement.
Exactly, and especially with like now Shawn Michaels came back after his retirement. So
Well, can Nikki still wrestle? Like,
As far as I
legitimately
know.
asking, because she had that match with Rousey.
Yeah, that was
but
last
that's
time.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if she had that match with Rousey and she's still okay after it, like
But that
Well, we
was
didn't
also
hear
like a
anything
big,
about injuries.
But that was also more of like a spotlight thing, because like the Bellas have always been like pseudo retired for the last couple years,
Right.
Other than they come out
shows.
for these like big spotlight matches like Evolution, and they'll build up to that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Is it's just like if this is legit and she's like, and I don't mean to say legit in the sense that I think she's actively lying to people right now.
But she might get the itch down
she
the
might
line.
get the itch. They may present her with something, especially if if they can. And I don't mean this as a slight, even though there's no way for me to say it without it coming out sounding like one. If it's something to tie in with a reality show as well,
Right.
get the money when you can.
yeah, type thing. And
Yeah.
again, and it's like, and
There's honestly
the Bella Twins are one of the most iconic wrestling duos, especially in the women's roster,
Right.
that we've had in the last 10 years. So it makes sense for them to, at some point, acknowledge the fact that, the only reason we aren't the greatest women's tag team of all time is because there wasn't a division for us.
And I think that's a fair statement. Like, I of course, I'm not stupid enough to think that like the Bella Twins were like great technical wrestlers. They never were. I always liked Nikki. There was just something I liked her. I don't know. I just liked her, and I like Brie too. But I never thought they were like incredibly great. But I think they have a spot, and I think if they are going to do something with the tag team division, it makes sense, because wrestling is two things. It's what the people that look behind the scenes see, and there's what the perception is. And in wrestling, perception is reality for a lot of the parts. So when you tell people the Bella Twins are the most iconic like wrestling duo, no offense to the iconic duo, it's
That's with two eyes.
Well,
We're
that's
talking
true.
about with
That's
one
true.
eye.
It's believable because that's the story.
Yeah.
Wrestling's a story, and if that's the story, that's what it is. What are you keep showing her? It's bothering me.
cat pictures.
Cool.
I am actively listening to you.
We're gonna set up just a playpen. Is we're gonna do the podcast from now on with balls and
Flashy lights.
flashing lights, and there's gonna be like cat toys there. Maybe you can bring some cats in.
Well, I can't. I'm allergic.
Oh, son of a bitch. All right, let's move on. Maybe this is important. We can talk about it. Mark Henry is donating his brain to CTE research, which good on him.
Slow week.
Clearly.
Because I very much like mean that like this is an important thing, but like I don't know if it's necessary. Like if it was a busier week, I don't know if we would have included on this other than just like a little throwaway note.
What's
but
a good thing though?
No, it's a great thing, and good on him for doing it, because he's joining a very growing list of professional wrestlers who are going to be donating their bodies to the research.
And I think the good thing is we have with the people that are like agreeing to do it, we have a good list of like a wide range of wrestlers.
Yeah, it's not all
like a lot of
little
them
names or big names or
not even that. I'm talking
big
like
wrestlers, little wrestlers.
I'm talking like strictly style. Like there has been
Cats.
some ECW guys, there's been some WCW guys, like WWEF, like all of that. You have a good range of like, all right, so we can figure out that from this style of wrestling, like if we'll go back to it, Sandman decides to donate his brain to science, we are going to learn a whole lot.
I wonder if anyone has a running list of
They're
wrestlers.
just gonna Sandman Brain is gonna come in. It's literally gonna be a block of Swiss cheese. They're gonna be like, "Holy shit! Look at this thing." Did he get all this damage from wrestling?
Entrance.
Mostly beer, mostly beer, and the way he hit himself in the head.
But I think because we talk about it all the time, like, and even Asa brings it up all the time. It's never the big hits; it's the smaller jarring moments.
Yeah.
Which, like, happen a lot in wrestling.
Unfortunately.
And which, yeah, it's a shame. It's in the nature of the beast. But I think it's good that we have I think Kevin Nash has agreed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer, Mick Foley.
Didn't Van Damme say he would?
I think Van Damme, that was another one. Hardy might have.
I do think Jeff Hardy
I
did.
think Jeff Hardy said.
Yeah.
And
so,
like, why wouldn't you? It's like being
Yeah.
an organ donor. Like, why wouldn't you be an organ donor?
yeah. So I think it's good that we have that wide range because you have, like, Kevin Nash never worked a hardcore style. He may have had a couple street fights here and there, but he was not a hardcore wrestler.
And I'm sure he's taken multiple, chair shots to the head.
Yeah,
type thing.
But his
But,
brain's
like,
going to look a lot different.
Than Mick Foley's or
Right.
Dreamers.
But he's had concussions, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah.
It's because this is it's the long term.
Because I don't think there's a wrestler that has been doing it for even a short amount of time that has yet to have a concussion. Like, it's just kind of the nature of the beast. Like, that's just a common thing that happens in wrestling. Super unfortunate.
It's scary when you hear it, too.
Yeah.
When you hear, like, yeah, every wrestler's like, yeah, you'll get a couple concussions your first few years. And you're just like, I don't want those. Can we not hit in the head? Does wrestling have to be headshots?
Oh, apparently China did.
What about,
hey, that's cool.
is Chris Nowinski still working with this? Or
Yeah,
Yes,
he's a big proponent of
Because I
it.
remember
Yeah.
him being a huge part of it before. I didn't know if he still was.
It's one of those things that kind of like always. It happened after he'd been called up to the main roster, but when Baron Corbin allegedly
Got
got in trouble backstage because he straight up called out a doctor who was trying to downplay the effects of concussions.
And good
So
on
like
Corbin.
in front of the
Yeah.
roster, and he stood up for the roster in front of the roster and been like, "Hey, this is kind of bullshit."
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah.
Like that's points in
it's-
my book.
Like, at the end of the day, like, it's super important that we know as much as we can about concussions.
Yeah.
Because then we can potentially save some people
Right.
from, like,
Booker T, Matt Morgan as well. John Cena has commented that he would be open to the idea, but he hasn't.
And again,
He seems to have not.
I have to
gone one
ask.
way or the
I
other.
have to ask
Yeah.
why. What are you going to do with your brain after you're dead? You know, it's like stem cell research.
That's
and
what
stuff
they
like
have to
that.
shoot you in to stop you as a zombie.
Well, if you keep it in a jar, then you can do whatever you want to it at any point.
zombie jars.
The only thing I could think of, like,
That piqued his interest for a second.
No, it's only because my image went to the brains themselves being a zombie. So it's just like
it's just moving around.
kind of. Well, it's
Me.
not even that. It's just like it's just the
Me.
brain, like from Futurama, but in one of the head jars. But it's
Yeah.
just the brain, and it's just slowly like bumping into the glass in
Trying
front
to
of
get
it.
to you.
Yeah.
Just like no other sound or anything. Just the
Squish. Squish.
The only way I could see somebody not wanting to donate their brain is if they think that, you know, at some point in the future they could bring you back to life
Or if
via
they're
brain.
or if they're super religious.
Yeah, there's also like
because there is the belief that
What is the religion argument?
if you destroy the body, you have nothing to go up to heaven.
it goes like these are really old, like Egyptians. The reason they mummified is because you get reincarnated, like you will come back to your body.
can
you
I-
still have a vessel.
Can I counterpoint that?
It's going to be real easy.
They pulled the brains out through the nose.
But it's the body. The brain wasn't anything. It's the soul has some. The soul needs something to go back
Yeah,
into.
so
Well,
they're-
then,
okay,
do they
but-
destroy the body to get to the brain?
I'm not saying that they are people nowadays are the same exact belief as the ancient Egyptians. I'm
Okay.
saying is this idea of you don't want to disturb your body because you're going to go back to it.
That's why
is
we have
still
the funeral
around.
industry like we do. It's because it preserves the actual body.
Yeah, that's why people.
Again, we're not saying it's correct. This is just
This
what
is
people
just a-
believe.
oh, no, a
there
reason
are
that
many
could be
sects of
there.
Christianity that will not allow for cremation
Yeah.
for that reason.
I just want
That's why you have the such respect for and the careful tending
handling
to
of the body.
to handling
like
of the body.
like Cheryl did in Haunting of Hill House.
I haven't seen that show.
I want to thank Dalton because that is the loudest Allie has talked on a show in I think ever. Get her upset. When she gets mad, she gets loud, and I love it. And she's so sassy.
All right, I'll see what I can do later in the show.
Please don't at all do that. But we do
I
believe
already got
that
your back.
we're pro organ donor at this podcast, right?
We're all organ donors, right?
I am.
I am.
I think I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it says it on my driver's license.
Yeah, it's all that matters.
It's got the little heart with the ribbon
Yeah,
on
you're
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to hear a sad story?
No.
Just really quick.
You
Really
guys
quick. No, really quick sad story.
Mother effer.
So there was a video I saw on Live Leak
No, all right, and
No,
that's
no,
where
no,
the
you're gonna
story
hear
is.
the story because you said you want to hear it. So there was a guy in another country who got hit by a I forget what it was called. It was like one of these big utility truck type things.
Okay.
And it legitimately cut him in half. So half of his body from the waist down is behind him. He's laying on the ground, still alive and conscious and cognizant.
Yeah.
And he's asking people to come to him because he knows he's going to die and he doesn't want to die alone. He's in the back of the ambulance. They're taking him to the hospital. He knows he's going to die. So with his last energy, his last, whatever, he tells them how he wants his organs to be donated. He said, please use every part of me to help others. And then he died. And like, to have the wherewithal in your dying moments when you've been cut in half to still care about other people. If there is a place in heaven, and assuming that guy didn't do anything really shitty in his life, he better be up there.
I genuinely thought that was gonna lead into a joke.
I can be serious occasionally. But cool on Mark Henry, cool on everybody that donates, and it's very important.
Cool.
Very important. Jim Johnson willing to work with AEW, which could be huge for them.
Again, slow news week. This just came from.
But that's big. That's big.
I mean, if I would. Jim Johnson agreeing to work with AEW, like them announcing that they've come to a meeting, yes, that would be big.
That is interesting.
But yeah, it's like guy who was fired from job, willing to work for another company doing same thing. I mean, but no, like
Hulk Hogan wishes he was back at WWE.
Exactly. It could be, and it goes with the same thing. Like there was a headline that Jim Ross is likely to sign a multi-year deal with AEW, which that's not a surprise because he's been friends with all three of them like since forever now.
And good, utilize somebody that is intelligent and resourceful as Jim Ross and Jim Johnston.
Yeah, that would be amazing because Jim Johnston again is someone who I think should have been in the Hall of Fame a very long time ago.
Do you think if he works with AEW and he does find success somewhere else, do you think he'll ever go in, or does that shoot his chances? Or
no, I mean, I think he will. I think it kind of it might delay it. But it may, just kind of be one of those things where let's see how successful AEW ends up being. Because if it's, if it becomes like a genuine competitor and, WWE is not happy with them running, then yeah, that might kind of shoot his chances in the foot. Right. But if it turns into like a Wrestling Society X
or TNA, like Kurt Angle,
no, I wouldn't even give. I wouldn't because Impact. I feel like they almost have not a working relationship, but like. They understand what Impact is, and they don't even consider them a competitor anymore, type deal. I don't know. I don't think it would hurt his chances of ever getting into the Hall of Fame, but I think you wouldn't have the iconic, just like the music is so integral to so many of those characters.
Right. Some of the best wrestlers of all time have had the best music, and that is entirely attributed to Jim Johnson.
And look, because it's that extra ingredient that really puts someone over the top. That badass driving guitar of Stone Cold Steve Austin as he stomps to the ring. But then you look at it and you have like a phenomenal wrestler with a terrible entrance, Rob Van Dam in Impact. Like,
God, I forgot about that song.
Bad word show.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, so I mean, like, an AEW, I think, could absolutely use someone like Jim Johnston because I can't imagine a world that Kenny Omega comes to AEW with his New Japan music.
Right.
Or
even the Terminator theme.
And don't get me wrong, I like Downstate. But I would rather have Jim Johnston do like music for Cody, or.
Also, I hate how easy it was for me to pick out Rob Van Dam's TNA theme in my head.
No,
that
yeah.
was
Can you pick
that
out
was
any
way
other,
too quick.
Can you pick out any other TNA theme? I can only remember one other one.
I can think
Abysses, I think.
Okay,
his opening.
Yeah, I can get that one.
As part of the Decay, because that was just Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Okay. The only one,
I saw Billy Corgan this weekend.
Up at the show?
Yeah, he was there because I thought it was Big Lee because it was just a white guy that was bald
it was
in a hoodie.
Big Lee, yeah.
Well, I was just like, oh shit, Billy. Like literally popped in my head, and I was with everyone was like, hey, there's Billy Corgan.
Did you go Billy?
No,
Lee.
I didn't. I was too far away because I thought we went through the entrance and we went through the back door. And then I was like, why is Billy Corgan just hanging out right here? Oh no.
Is he taking tickets?
No.
That's nice of him.
Yeah.
Like
Christian's theme in TNA. Because it was just the Evanescence. It was an Evanescence song.
yeah.
Like an instrumental. That's the only other one I can remember.
I can't think of any of them.
Yeah.
Besides just
because Impact had bad music.
AJ Styles was pretty bad. You are. I am.
Oh, shit!
God.
How are we forgetting the most basic one? Trouble.
That was the best one. That might be the best one.
It's one of those, if you
poor
play
EC3.
Stings, if you started, I could get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one, though.
Main Event Mafia.
Oh, yeah. And then Kurt Angle's also, too. Like, if you start it, I know the
Angle's-
rest of it.
Detroit, the Motor City Machine Guns, the opening at least for me. Sting, though, the problem with Sting's is that nothing will ever beat his WCW Crow theme.
Yeah.
That is the best Sting theme ever. It doesn't matter.
Which I love.
WWE's was terrible.
I do love that they have the rights to it.
And
They just didn't use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
we could do
apparently
better.
That's the thing, because they even do that on the network. Like if you go back, if you go and rewatch like old WCW stuff.
No, they replace it.
Apparently Chris Jericho's music, like if you watch a Chris Jericho match, when he comes to the ring, it's to break the walls down. They replace it.
I hate that.
They kind of are like
You
whitewashing the WCW music.
You can tell.
Whitewashing is not the right word, but you know what I mean.
They're like
Cleansing. Whiteouting.
editing over.
Well, I mean, they're editing over.
Purging.
But they're like retroactively replacing it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
retconning.
Retconning. That's the word that I should have used.
Thank you.
Because whitewashing is retconning just with racial tones.
Well, we all know that we don't like those white Canadians.
Yeah. Especially that one.
Oh, Josh?
No.
For Press Start to join?
I was talking about Chris Benoit.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the Pegasus Kid? Was that it? It was Pegasus Kid.
And also won the Royal Rumble at number 1.
I thought he won at number 2. Oh no, yeah, because it's always Shawn Michaels. Mm-hmm. There was somebody else.
Only 2 competitors have ever, including Shawn Michaels, who went on to lose a triple threat in WrestleMania.
To nothing.
Yeah, that's about
To Stevie Richards.
as vague as possible.
Lastly, WrestleMania 36 is going to be held in Tampa Bay next year. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty cool. The logo already came out. It looks neat. It's very much tying into like the Buccaneers, which is cool because I always like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It's Kyrie Sane's time.
It is. The Sky Pirates, which is a cool name. I didn't know that was their name.
Apparently, the arena they're in has a giant pirate ship.
It is. It's the Buccaneers. I've been in there. It's pretty neat.
I've
a big old pirate ship.
I've also been in a pirate ship.
Okay. I think I'm going to Mania next year.
Let's all go. Let's just all go.
I mean, that'll make the group of people that I'm going with really happy because then it'd be cheaper.
I have never been to a WrestleMania.
Yes, that's why they would be happy that we would be going. Yay, our monetary expense. That's the reason you want to go with a group with people.
Well, that's the reason you want to keep friends. To
Yeah.
be fair.
It's Trishina. Like I'm going with her. I think me and
Stella Swole,
Yeah,
Zoe Moore,
her. Yeah,
keep it at 100.
yeah. I like her 100 more.
Well,
Don't get hit with glass with that one.
I will.
Huh?
Anyway,
Plus, Tampa's really easy to like get to, and it's not like it's touristy. Like New Orleans is kind of a garbage city.
wait, Tampa Bay's in New Orleans?
No.
Oh, thank God.
I'm saying I think I would like going to Tampa more.
Oh.
I've been to Tampa. Tampa's awesome.
Good.
New Orleans, I was not a fan of in any way, shape, or form.
You know where I've been? Oil City, Pennsylvania.
All right.
One of the nation's founding oil cities.
Did they have a mania there?
The number one oil city
I was telling
in
them,
America.
I was like, if I go, I'm probably not doing Access again.
I would love to do Access. I would love to do the Hall of Fame too. Like I would love to sit there and be respectful and judge those that cheer and catcall.
After seeing the speeches, I'm like, and then after finding out somebody had like the measles there or some
Oh, that's
shit like
bad.
that.
Yeah.
Because like I then like whenever that news story came out, I had like 8 people text me.
Yeah. Don't get measles.
No, it was just like, please tell me you weren't at Hall of Fame, and I was like, no, we decided not to. So we just sat on the the back porch of that place and just watched it on my phone.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We were only like
you're there. While
we were
we're
30
watching
minutes
all-
away
all right.
from it. Yeah.
Let's talk about Monday Night Raw.
I don't want this to be real.
What?
Oh, no.
Apparently there's a promotion called Nova Pro
Okay.
Yes.
that didn't pay a bunch of people at their last show,
Okay.
including All Ego Ethan Page, who just recently signed an extension signed
Impact?
like a long-term deal to Impact. Also, OVE signed a new deal.
Oh, cool. I
with
like
them.
him.
That's super cool. But apparently, an upcoming show, he named it's Nova Pro Wrestling. Well, we all make mistakes, and that's got to be a parody. That can't be real.
Oh no.
Oh my
I don't
god.
know. I don't know enough about. I don't. that can't be real. Like that's got to be like that thing that in the middle of the night.
Kayfabe news.
Well, no, that thing that I sent to the group chat last week that was like NBA star accidentally like throw like I just saw a tweet and it was because I didn't know who it was from. I don't know shit about shit when it comes to basketball or legitimate like sports sources. Like yeah, if someone sends something to the group chat from like a wrestling thing, it's like, oh yeah, no, that site's BS. So this was just a name and it was like a.
Oh, I remember this story.
And it was like a basketball player like lost a game and just like was mad, so he threw a trash can and ended up hitting like a Make-A-Wish kid.
Yeah, and I think it was Cody was like, or Tanner was like, I think
like,
that's a parody.
Yeah, that's
site.
a parody site. And I was like, it's like 11:30. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
what is it called again? Everyone makes mistakes.
Well, we all make mistakes.
Jesus.
Which
I
one?
want that to be real.
I don't want that to be real because one,
that means people to get paid, which is
screw
bad.
you for not paying your talent.
But that's a pretty funny name. Come on, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
I found their page really quick. Let me see if I can.
Oh yeah.
How many people liked it? If it's under 1,000,
I just saw it was because another promoter for I think one of the St. Louis guys.
Well, just signed. They did 2 days ago. Faye Jackson. They signed a match between Joey Ryan and Faye Jackson.
So yeah, maybe that's just like a joke thing that they've.
Maybe there was.
someone
I'm not
an
seeing
incident.
anything for.
Yeah, because that's so. God, I hope that's not real.
All right, let's move on because we're almost at an hour and we didn't want to stay here an extra hour.
I mean, it's
What's
only
the
8:20,
agreement?
guys. We can go for another 30, 40 minutes.
You can.
I haven't eaten in almost 24 hours.
Well,
so.
that's the weird diet you're taking, so
I love Justin Smart.
he's okay.
He's a man's man.
Are you
He's
doing
all
the
right.
intermittent fasting?
Yeah, the warrior diet.
Okay, so you do realize that it's not you can eat whatever you want in that time period.
Oh, that's
Like,
what he
it's-
told me. That's what he
It's
said.
not because
Oh, no,
it's-
there's
because
two-
the amount of calories that it doesn't change the amount of calories just because you spread it out throughout the day
So,
versus
all right.
just consuming them all
Look
at
at
once
him when you
doesn't
say that.
change.
Well, he doesn't have to tell me. I already know this. Like, there's two things, and I talked to Justin about it, and I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I told him, like, okay, I've seen two things. One said that you don't eat anything throughout the day, and then at night for 4 hours you can eat whatever you want. I saw another thing that said you eat like small amounts of fruit or nuts throughout the day just to, keep you going. And then you eat like healthy at the end of the night. And he said what he does is he doesn't eat anything throughout the day. And then at night he eats healthy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to try to do.
Which is that's the way you do that.
Right.
If you're gonna.
But there are other people that say that you can literally I can eat because the argument being that since you're not eating multiple meals, you can have just one giant meal and do whatever you want.
Yeah, so
but
if your body-
I thought about that and I was like, okay, but let's say I eat 3 pizzas on top of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
That's more calories than I was consuming by eating through the day. So that
Yes.
doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
So
And
you have
those
to have
people
some-
are wrong.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
have to have
need
some
You
intelligence.
That's why
also want to make sure you're getting the nutrients you need.
Right.
You should also talk to an actual nutritionist.
Well, he is nutritious.
Is he
No,
delicious?
he doesn't
He
have
tastes great.
He doesn't have a PhD. You can talk to someone with a PhD that came from an actual college, not a magazine of home health heart. And I watched 6 hours of Dr. Oz, so
Sounds like Ace has got a PhD. Play a hating degree.
yeah, a lot.
Anyway,
Hate.
So Fastlane, real quick, what are our thoughts on Fastlane? I thought it was
Loved it.
It was pretty
I
good.
thought it was really good, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Hit it out of the park. Except I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see type thing with the Kofi angle because I want to know what they're doing with it.
I think at this point, it has to be the Mania match.
It has to be.
I don't know. I think that I still don't think he's going to get a one-on-one match. I think he's just going to be added to a triple threat.
I think 4-way.
Then that's what I mean. He's going to get added to the triple threat to make it a
okay,
four-way
okay.
because it's going to be
Him,
Brian, Mustafa Ali, Kevin Owens, and
I
then
agree.
Kofi gets added.
But do you think he gets the victory?
I don't know. And that's like
Do you think
that's-
they're going to toy with your emotions at the show to the point that you were like,
Oh no, and it's the thing that I said before Elimination Chamber. If I watch Kofi win the WWE Championship, there's a solid chance I'm gonna cry
Same.
just out of happiness, just because holy crap.
And then I cried either way. Yay.
But yeah, I feel like they're leaning too hard into it for that not to be the plan.
but that's what scares me is they're leaning so hard into it
that it's
that is
they're
the
gonna
double
yank
trick.
the rug
yeah.
out from under, yeah, and it's which
Heel heat.
cool. Like I mean, that's good because it's not super predictable,
Right.
And hook.
But in the same
I'm
way,
hook-
it is super predictable.
I'm hook line. They got me hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
So
The rest of Fastlane was pretty good. The only match that I didn't think the Becky Charlotte match was all that great, but it wasn't supposed to be
I
because
also
she was hurt.
Yeah,
quote
I'm
unquote.
so sick of that fucking crutch. She
Yeah.
finally threw it away on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Ronda came out to
Ronda.
give Becky exactly what she wants, which Becky kind of called her out on that on Raw, or on SmackDown, which made Ronda look even worse. Cause I hate this whole angle. How do you have Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match for WrestleMania?
And you mess it
I
up?
hate the build.
Yeah.
This seems so easy.
Well, because they tried to think outside
And maybe
of
it's
the box.
because I don't have to. Maybe it's because I don't have to write 3 segments a week for the 6 weeks leading up to it. But dear Lord, it ain't this.
It could have been as simple as I'm the baddest woman on the planet. You're the queen. You're the
You're the
one.
one.
Everyone loves.
You're the unstoppable actual juggernaut of fan support.
Yeah.
That won't say die.
You just wrote it. You
Yeah.
just wrote it. The end.
But instead, wouldn't it be even better if Ronda said everything was fake?
And bullshit.
Yeah.
We got the Shield reunion at Fastlane, and I thought it went well.
Good match.
It was a
I
good
went back.
match.
I went back and rewatched it because that's what I've started doing with these. Is I watch the matches that I really care about.
Yeah.
And then I just go back and rewatch the other stuff. Shield match like that was kind of like a Shield greatest hits match.
So, do you think that they're we were talking earlier with the Kofi? They're leaning so hard into it. They're leaning so hard into the Dean Ambrose thing that there's something going on with it, or do you think this is legitimate? We know he's leaving. We're acknowledging it to get ahead of it, and goodbye.
I'm starting to think more the second one.
They're leaning into it to goodbye.
Yeah. Especially after what happened on Raw, because
Right.
there was a lot of speculation because they announced that they were going to do the Shield farewell address, and I was like, okay, so the theories that I saw that I really agreed with were, okay, Lesnar's going to come out and demolish all 3 of them.
Probably.
He was just going to lay out Roman and Ambrose and Rollins to send a message. That didn't happen. Nothing happened. That segment was nothing. Except for McIntyre attacked Reigns afterwards.
Right.
And then the other thing that someone pitched was Roman would then challenge Dean to a match at WrestleMania that if Roman won, Dean had to stay.
That would actually be kind of neat.
Because he didn't want his brother to leave.
Yeah.
And if the rumors of now that the whole thing of, oh, well, now there's people who think backstage, yeah, it's raining like shit.
Yeah, I
didn't
thought
bring a
cars were
coat.
driving by. Wow.
If you don't have, you can't leave if I beat you, or if you can beat me, then you're free to go. But up until which I mean, I don't know how I would feel about that, but it could have at least be an interesting thing to do with Dean.
Yeah.
But then I'm almost curious if what happened on Raw was might not have been the last time we see Dean.
It was a very good way to write him off.
Oh, yeah. They killed him?
Yeah.
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 McIntyre now looks like a killer, which sets up for, a Roman match potentially at Mania.
Yeah, which is really going to suck next week when Dean Ambrose attacks him in his match or out going to the ring, and then they have a match later that night where McIntyre beats him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Just my prediction. Mm-hmm. If it really is the way to write off Dean Ambrose,
I think it was effective because it was vicious.
I would almost say that it would have been better if they would have had the entire group do something heinous to him, but at the same time, that's less realistic. Mm-hmm. This was a very realistic way to take Dean Ambrose out. That Drew McIntyre is a killer and he just hurt him.
Yeah.
And that gives, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins incentive to go after Drew McIntyre, and it makes Drew McIntyre look threatening.
Yeah.
Which he should be because he's
Which
Drew
he needs to
McIntyre.
because he's been kind of in that holding pattern of
He's in the
loose
group.
alliances
Yeah,
with
he's a
people.
group wrestler. Yeah, which he needs to get away from.
Yes.
First with Ziggler and now with them.
Shelton Benjamin attacked Rollins, and they had a match. Which cool. I wish that match wouldn't have happened that same night.
Right.
And I would love for Shelton Benjamin to now be attached to Paul Heyman because holy crap, how do you not do anything with Shelton Benjamin?
Yeah.
For this, as
We
long
talked
as
about
they
how
have.
excited we were that he was coming back, and then he had a cool thing with Gable for the most part.
Yeah,
For
his
the
new
most
black
part.
friend.
Yeah. And then I don't remember anything he's done after that.
That's
He
about it.
shit on Gable after they separated, which I thought was really funny. Because he tweeted about it, and then he went back on SmackDown and then just shit on it, which I thought was amazing. He's had 2 really cool elites come out. I have them both.
So I didn't get to see the segment. Does he have hair yet, or is he still Frank Reynolds bald? And something
got
about
hair.
him being bald bothers me.
It's that thing where I didn't pay attention
He's
to his
too
hair,
pure.
so now it's that office bit of does Stanley have a mustache? Because I can see it both ways now, and I don't remember which one it was.
Do you think when he was backstage, Vince said, "I thought the SNL guys were here last week," and called him Michael Che?
No, because Shelton's the one that he knows.
That's true.
He called Michael Shea Shelton Benjamin.
He called him
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin. Yeah. I get things wrong. I apologize.
Bobby Lashley won the Intercontinental Championship.
I don't like that either. Not the way it happened. Not on Raw.
Well, and it's
I don't know.
again, I will have to. Yeah, he's got a little bit of hair. It's
I
real
actually
short,
like that.
though.
He looks pretty good.
I don't. It's the thing of well, what are you doing with Balor now?
Yeah.
Because he had that really great showing against Lesnar, and then he won the Intercontinental Championship off of Lashley, and then
did nothing.
Yeah, and then okay, now he's lost it. So unless they got something else for him planned, I don't know.
Maybe he's gonna win it at Mania, so you have a face win at Mania, but you should also already have two faces winning at Mania, Becky and Kofi.
Yeah.
I'm not writing it, so I don't know.
Maybe Mania can be like where everybody wins.
Well, and
all the good guys.
It
Well, it
seemed
was
like-
because it was very much Fastlane was very much Empire Strikes Back.
I don't think it was. I can't remember if it was on Raw or not, or if it was an extra thing. But there was a scene where they sowed some dissent between Lashley and Rush, with Rush kind of saying that he should get a shot. Him and Lashley should have a match. So it was something like that. I don't remember it exactly, but. So
which is funny because
that might be like a triple. They may end up doing like a triple threat for the IC title because it's Mania and it's kind of slowly turning into Wrestle Kingdom in the sense that everything is a multi-man match to get as many people on the card as possible.
Yeah,
and it's already going to be like a 12-hour show. So
I don't know how I feel about them using because apparently Finn Balor won't be there and they're using Rami Malek as a stand-in. I just looked up a picture of Michael Che and there was a picture of Rami Malek and I was like, he kind of looks like Finn Balor. Like, if you change him just a little bit, plus that dude is versatile. He can be anybody. He's like a chameleon. Did you see him in Bohemian Rhapsody?
No.
It's amazing. I haven't watched it.
I was like, we haven't watched that yet.
But I know the story.
Jesus Christ.
They announced Alexa Bliss is going to be hosting WrestleMania this year.
So she's injured again, right?
I don't know anymore.
What is going on with Alexa Bliss?
She posted a really cool video of her training with Mike Quackenbush down at the Performance Center. Of her doing some cool stuff, but
she only came back for the Rumble, right? And that's it. She's done nothing else, right?
I think so.
Something weird.
Yeah,
Something weird.
that's odd. Strowman destroyed another car.
Colin Jost.
Yeah,
right?
because he gave him a gift. So
it's a hell of
Braun-
a gift for just being
Braun
insulted.
Strowman-
Which is super funny because that car is almost the exact same make and model of the WWE action figure
I
set.
saw a picture someone posted.
That is Braun Strowman destroying a car.
I feel like that's not a coincidence then.
Well, no, but it's one of those things that's just like it made the entire action figure community happy.
Why is
because they
Braun-
were like, oh, we've seen this before.
Why is Braun Strowman such a shitty person?
Why is Braun Strowman so allergic to WrestleMania?
And cars apparently.
Well, allergic to friendship. Every time Kevin Owens tried to befriend him,
No,
he
he's
almost
still-
murdered him.
He's still I think he's still friends with. He keeps up with Nicholas.
And Balor.
I am pretty sure at this point he's eaten Nicholas.
We haven't seen him.
Sorry, John Cone.
We haven't seen him. No, it's just like, man, you have Braun Strowman, and it looks like he is going to have a comedy segment at WrestleMania.
Oh
Again.
God, do you think he will wrestle Colin Jost? Like it won't be an actual match, obviously, but do you think Mania Colin
Now I
Jost
do.
versus Brock Lesnar? Fuck, Braun Strowman. Ah!
Oh, that would be terrible. That'd be
Blee
terrible.
awesome.
No, you are wrong.
Right?
And then the
Refereed
other
by Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump.
I was going to say Michael Shea, but that works too.
the other big news coming from Raw is Kurt Angle announced that he was going to have a match at WrestleMania. That's going to be his last match. Which
Do you think this is his decision or WWE?
or
both?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, because you saw how hard Angle worked to be able to wrestle again for the WWE.
Yeah,
And they really haven't given him anything memorable.
couple matches here and there.
But even seeing him wrestle, it's very clear how beat up he is.
he's so stiff looking.
And
you
so
know?
it's one of those things where I also kind of feel like it wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that he's just not happy that he's not able to go like he wants to.
Right.
And so it's time to just officially hang it up. So he had a match with Apollo Crews that was fun.
Yeah.
I guess. And then they haven't announced his opponent yet. I have 3 guesses.
Can I just say real quick?
None of them are going to be accurate.
Imagine Kurt Angle versus Apollo Crews. If Angle was a little healthier,
Angle in his prime.
that match would have been absolutely gross.
ECW Wrestling Machine,
Yes,
Kurt Angle.
versus Apollo Crews. That would have been one of the best
Also,
matches.
not sure how healthy he was back then,
Well, yeah, but he could.
but
could
he was
go.
more mobile.
but it was
yeah.
that was behind the scenes.
Who's your 3 opponents you think it's going to
So the 3 that I think it could be, one, because of what happened on SmackDown, and it seems they may be moving away from. They didn't give me an overt clue like I thought they did last week. So I don't know if it looks more like the United States Championship is going to be a fatal 4-way as well, potentially again, or maybe even just a triple threat because Joe and Ray continue to thing. I think it would be super cool if it was John Cena. John Cena's breakout match in
tweeted about
WWE was Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
So it would be very fitting to have John Cena be Kurt Angle's final opponent.
Plus, John Cena needs an opponent for Mania.
If he's going to appear at Mania, it'll
Right.
he needs something to do. I don't think they'll do it, but it could be Undertaker. But I also I would not be surprised if Undertaker just wasn't a part of WrestleMania.
I will also say Angle versus Undertaker is not a match I want to see.
No.
I'll say that.
Yeah, no. Again, it's
out
not.
loud.
And just because it's been so long since we've heard anything one way or the other, and if they're playing this as close to the chest as I think they could be, it would be an amazing way as a surprise. Like if they don't announce it before, like it's a huge WrestleMania reveal, potentially. It could bomb and flop horribly. Jason Jordan.
Storyline wise, I think that's
would
a
be
good ending.
Because, they did the whole illegitimate son thing, and then Jordan got hurt. And
He was
wasn't
relying
able-
on his dad the whole time.
Exactly. And so, but now again, I'm not trying to like play up his injuries at all or anything, or like make his injuries seem not as severe as they are. Because
Right.
there is a very real chance that Jason Jordan will never be able to wrestle again.
Right.
Which is horrible. That sucks.
Because he's like, what, 23, 24?
He's young.
Yeah.
But and he was so talented. Like he had that him and Gable were legit. Like if they could have kept going a little bit longer, if they hadn't split them up.
Right.
American Alpha was legitimately one of my favorite tag teams. They could have, if they had gotten a little bit more time, they easily could have been like my favorite tag team of all time.
They reminded me of a very young and hungry world's greatest tag team.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we made the joke earlier about Shelton Benjamin, but like legitimately Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, that's what they reminded me of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Jason Jordan coming back as like, if that's his return, like he's cleared and healthy and able to wrestle. Like, I think that would be a huge.
Let me twist it on you.
Mm-hmm.
What if Jason Jordan isn't like he can't wrestle, but he can wrestle one more match, and it's him and Angle wrestle one last time and go out together? Like they do the father-son thing, and you get a happy ending of like
I don't.
too hokey.
It's not that it's too hokey. It's just like it's not. If they were legitimately related, yes. But like since that was just a kind of go nowhere, like the story ended up going nowhere,
Yeah.
and then it won't progress past that. No, because like, and as much as as disrespectful as this is going to sound, I don't think Jason Jordan needs a WrestleMania send off, especially when it's Kurt Angle's last match.
Yeah, it kind of takes the spark out
Yeah.
of it. I
Also,
think John
Chad-
Cena is the best option.
Also, Chad Gable, just because I want Chad Gable to have a WrestleMania match. I want him to be the biggest super singles wrestler of all time ever, because he could be, because he's amazing and perfect, and I love him.
I think John Cena is the best choice.
Of those three, yes.
I mean, marquee-wise, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The Jason Jordan, I think, is a better story, but if they're looking to sell...
It would be a bigger shock, too.
Yeah, but Cena versus Angle, like you said, tie it back to their original. Because yeah, John Cena answered Angle's challenge, ruthless aggression. That's where he got started. Jean shorts, and actually no, he wore tights back then.
Those
And
was bright yellow pants. No,
Yeah.
that was the Daniel Bryan match.
wow, that was pretty. Yeah, that was cool. And then SmackDown. I actually have no idea what happened on SmackDown.
Lots
Not
of
even
stuff.
a clue.
Promo of the year.
SmackDown was incredible.
Oh wait, I do know the promo of the year thing. The Kofi Kingston. That's the only thing I know is the New Day segment with Vince.
Well, the AJ Styles Randy Orton segment was amazing.
You're gonna have to explain it to me. I've only seen the Kofi thing.
I mean, it's pretty much them calling each other out.
What was the line? Something about if you're gonna stay at if you're gonna stay in my house, you're gonna have to pay rent.
Yeah. You didn't build. SmackDown was a thing while you were still wrestling in bingo halls in Indy, while you were getting a tan with Dixie Carter. I built SmackDown.
He name dropped Dixie Carter.
SmackDown is the house that Randy Orton built.
Yeah.
And as long as you are under my roof, I'm the landlord, and rent is due.
That's a good line.
But then AJ Styles came back at him, and he's like, "Yeah, but I did this by myself. I didn't ask my dad to get me a job." He's like, "I never used anybody for anything, really, because Evolution, Legacy, Rated RKO."
That's a good line.
The Wyatt family. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, well, shit, where do they go from here? Other than just pull apart brawls for the next 3 weeks.
Which I am.
Which I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
So go out of your way to check out that promo.
Okay, so does that mean just the thing with Elias was nothing? Was literally nothing
Yes.
other than shit on Elias?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was just looking for verification.
Because he had to turn heel against Jeff Jarrett for 2 weeks. So let's derail all of his momentum completely.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Make sure we were all on the same page.
Made me feel better.
I'm wondering if, because Rey Mysterio got a roll-up victory on Samoa Joe during a tag match, because it was Joe and Almas versus Rey and R-Truth. So I'm wondering if maybe that's what because when Samoa Joe dropping hustle, loyalty, respect in a promo was like, ooh, maybe Samoa Joe versus John Cena at WrestleMania.
Which all four.
But now, he's
The idea
chasing
is him versus John Cena versus anybody at
so
WrestleMania.
Now, so I'm wondering if instead of like the Ray Almas match, we end up getting Ray Almas Joe. So instead of like they just remove R-Truth from the situation.
Yeah.
And what else was there? Shane cut a promo on Miz. It wasn't bad. He
challenged him to a match for Mania.
Yeah, challenged him to a match for Mania. Pretty much said that, people have been using him all his life, and Miz is just another user, and he's not going to let anybody...
I mean, storyline-wise, he's not entirely
No,
wrong.
not at all.
Except it's Vince that was using Shane. Hey, go against The Undertaker. Hey, go against The Rock. Hey, go against this guy. Shane's like, yeah, sure, I'll do anything.
Well, he's talking about
I'll
like
jump off anything.
his friends just using him to
Oh, the Mean Street Posse.
pretty much. I wish
Where are my elites at for that?
in the
In your fever dream where
Yeah,
they belong.
exactly. So I mean,
Buy a Pete Gas elite.
the promo was fine. It just like it made sense for that's why he turned. But
And Shane is not a bad promo.
no, and it was interesting to see him go back full heel again.
Yeah, because that's
So-
been
All the McMahons.
Yeah,
2006, 2007.
except for Triple H.
And Steph.
Maybe we'll see. We haven't seen her in a while. So.
I knew, going back to Raw, loved that entire Batista Triple H.
Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
I loved that entire interaction.
Give me what I want.
Besides the whole take the Guardians of the indie scene,
Yeah.
I didn't like that as much. Everything else,
Because Triple H,
money.
he always gets his cute little "I'm
Dig.
above this" line.
Yeah.
The dig, yeah.
My favorite thing to come from that though was wrestling fans during WrestleMania's build every year, and it was just a smash cut, a super cut of Batista saying, "Give me what I want, give me what I want." Then it was Triple H saying, "All right, I'll give you what I want, or I'll give you what you want." And then Batista, "That's not what I want."
I thought that entire promo was good, just being like, "I'll end end your career on my terms," and then he was like, "Well, no, because I'm going to end your career." Like just that whole I know it's super simple,
Yeah.
and it's super basic, but
That's all you need.
sometimes
It's the KISS method.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, yes, not everything needs to be a blood feud. It goes back to the CM Punk Undertaker.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to have a story between CM Punk versus Undertaker at Mania. It should just be enough to hold itself.
I stand by. I enjoyed that.
Allie, do you know what
I
the
understand
KISS?
that it was
You know what the
tasteless.
KISS method is?
No.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Oh.
Everything doesn't have to be like this
Yeah.
intricate thing. It could just be me not like you,
And
me
honestly,
not like
like,
you.
Yeah,
To me-
you don't need to pour somebody's ashes on a person to get a story
That's-
angle over.
That's that's kind of some of my favorite just wrestling stories are just the basic. You are the champion.
Me
I
on
want to
belt.
be the champion, and now let's just beat the hell out of each other
Yeah.
for 6 weeks. So yeah, but the big thing from Usos cut a promo because it looks like there's probably going to be a big, giant scramble for the Raw tag team match. Will probably be Revival versus Black and Ricochet, and then because Revival attacked them after they beat Gable and Rude, and then SmackDown will be a multi-man because they've brought it like Woods and Big E are now with against the Bar and Rusev Nakamura and was there
Everybody else is in that.
I don't think there was anyone else that was part of that. I thought there was
because it was
because it was those three teams. So and then the Usos just kind of did and issued basically they're like we're the champs again because we're always the champs.
They're not wrong.
And then but no, the big thing from SmackDown, like I will be shocked if this doesn't end up being my promo of the year. The New Day were in the ring, all three members of the New Day in the ring with Vince McMahon, where Vince McMahon says that he was out there to give Kofi Kingston a chance to get a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. New Day comes out, and it starts with just Xavier Woods and Big E. They're the only ones talking to Vince, and they're going back and forth. I don't want to just give away lines because I genuinely think you should go out of your way to watch this. It's like 10 minutes long, and it's great. And then eventually Kofi starts talking of just like, I've never complained. I've never been trick-or-treating with my kids.
That's the
Like,
line that
I don't complain about people passing me by. I don't complain about not being at home. I don't complain about flying halfway across the world to India to do promo. I love this job. I love this business. I love my life. So what do you say? You say that I am not championship material because that was a pretty great line that Vince had.
Did you say Daniel Bryan said he was a B+?
Well, Daniel
player?
Bryan said
love
that you were
that.
a B+ player, which I don't think they would say that if they're not just gonna give it to him. But at the same time, again,
And then what
we
did I
talked
say?
about-
What
yeah.
did I say in the group chat? Either they're going to bury him, or they are going to put the biggest rocket ship to him.
It's impossible to bury him at this point, but like, yeah, they will crap all over him, and like he just won't get it in that sense. But that wasn't the line. The line that I was like, if you were championship material, you would have had your opportunity by now. You've been here for 11 years, and now, yeah, you're smart. You've teamed yourself up with 2 young guys who will do all the hard work for you.
I did like that.
Which the irony being that Xavier, or they're like what, maybe a year younger than him?
No,
Kofi's substantially. We've had this conversation like 4 weeks ago. Kofi's like 36.
Yeah, Kofi's surprisingly.
And then like Xavier
older.
and Big E are like 31.
Okay, but my point remains, I was like, that's not a huge difference.
But in the WWE, whenever Big E's only been there for about, they've both only been there for about
Like 5 years?
5 or 6 years, and you have somebody that's been there twice as long.
Yeah, so Big E and Xavier are like 3 years younger than Kofi. So when he says you
well, he doesn't
found
mean
younger guys,
he doesn't mean from an age stance. He means from like
newer blood that
Yeah.
have come in. Yeah,
and have been there for like half the time Kofi's been there.
right.
Like he even mentions like you're a Hall of Fame. You're a future Hall of Fame inductee as part of the New Day. Just like stuff like that. But then Kofi just asks him, what do I have to do? And Vince lays out the challenge. So on SmackDown this week, it's Kofi Kingston in another gauntlet match against Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, both members of the Bar, and Rowan.
Wait, not Rey Mysterio?
No.
Why would they put him in
Well,
that?
the report I read said Ray, so they must have meant Rowan.
Rowan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I thought that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, why would Ray come out and be a part of that? Okay, thank you.
So yeah, so that'll be another gauntlet match. I don't know how that, and he also like, I don't know how that's gonna go.
He's gonna lose.
Well, I mean, yeah, I do think he's gonna lose. I
Definitely
think
gonna lose.
there's gonna be some shenanigans, of course. Like AJ Styles will probably interfere during the Randy Orton segment. Woods and Big E during the Bar type deal. Daniel Bryan might, there will be shenanigans. Of course, we know there's going to be shenanigans. What I'm talking about is at the beginning of the promo, he said he was going to talk to Kofi about what he would have to do to get a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. But at the end of the promo, he said, if you win this gauntlet match, you're going to WrestleMania. That just doesn't sound... That's not very Vince.
Yeah.
Vince is very particular about the words that he wants people to use.
Which means he could have a match at WrestleMania.
Someone on Reddit put it just perfectly of like, imagine, Kofi wins. He wins this gauntlet match. It's been an hour and 20 minutes long. This, 3/4 of the show is this gauntlet match.
You're going to be in the Battle Royal.
Vince comes out and just hands him 2 tickets.
For him and his loved one, his significant other.
Pick whichever one of the New Day you want to come with you.
Or that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm
But
interested.
this has to end. But this has to end with Kofi Kingston
at WrestleMania in the WWE Championship match.
Yeah.
I agree. I just don't know how they're going to get there. And I'm happy with that. I love the fact that I am nervous that this isn't going to happen because again, I am also letting myself believe I am 100% behind Kofi Mania. Like I truly think that this is his time and he is going to get it.
Yeah, but the problem with that, because I've been thinking about this, is one of two things will happen. Either he won't win, and it's going to be that storyline of, he got so close but he never got it, kind of the Tommy Dreamer thing, or he will win it, and he will lose it in 2 months when they immediately push him back down the
Or
card.
the next night on Raw.
Right, or SmackDown.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm afraid of. Is like, okay, you won the championship, cool.
Honestly, at this point...
Now you're done.
At this point, I don't know if I would be super upset at that.
Because it's enough for him just to have
the story leading up to it.
And he'll get his historic moment.
Because like we talked about it before the Elimination Chamber. Like if he won it and then immediately lost on SmackDown, yeah, that would suck. Because he only had like 2 weeks where he was like, oh no, people remember how good Kofi is.
Yeah.
Whereas now we have a substantial build and he has, entire hours of SmackDown dedicated to him.
Yeah.
So
he's over as he's ever been.
Yeah.
As he ever will be. This is the pinnacle of Kofi's career.
Yeah.
I truly believe.
It very well could be. But again, I love the fact that I don't know what's going to happen, but I care. And this is the first time WWE has made me feel like that in a very long time.
Are you afraid, though, that by caring so much that they could burn you to the point
Absolutely.
that you would be done?
Absolutely.
That's my fear.
Is this WWE? Then yes, that is always a possibility.
Because, boy, wouldn't that just be the heat magnet?
But again, I maintain that every WrestleMania that's divisible by 5 usually has a happy ending.
I am not entirely convinced that we come out of this build and or WrestleMania with the New Day even still intact.
So here's what I saw someone suggest.
It's going to go that hard left.
Kofi's going to get his
pointed to the
WrestleMania
right.
moment. Kofi Kingston versus Vince McMahon at WrestleMania.
No.
But I thought you can't do that if
Hard
Shane's wrestling
pass.
Miz.
Hard pass.
But then again, you probably could.
Miz and Kofi versus Shane and Vince.
Don't
A
let
McMahon in every corner.
Don't let that out into the void because then they will hear it and will consume it. We're going to get out of here. We got to go. I'm really hungry, and I know she's hungry.
One last thing. So remember during the WWE Championship...
Don't look at me. Look at him.
Remember during the WWE Championship match at Fastlane when Kevin Owens like did the vault over and almost like killed himself on the announce table? That turns out was much closer than we thought. He didn't split. He didn't magically find the gap. He turned his body because he was going to hit. He turned his body and landed short. Someone slowed it down on Reddit.
Because he's a professional.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, holy crap, that was terrifying. I just wanted to bring that up. Also, Daniel Bryan countering Mustafa Ali with the running knee was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That was pretty neat, yeah.
Fastlane right off the top rope.
Yeah, he springboarded off the second, and
yeah.
Daniel Bryan just met him with the knee.
That was vicious.
So cool.
That's good. I like the new Daniel Bryan. He's a lot like the old Daniel Bryan, but
new.
Vegan.
And new is better.
Because you saw what happened to Envy once she finally turned vegan. She became Captain Marvel.
I don't know what that means.
It's a Scott Pilgrim. Because Envy, she was Envy and Scott Pilgrim.
And she wasn't vegan, by
And
the
her
way.
that was
boyfriend
her
was
name.
vegan.
That was her name.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's my
You did
chippy. Hey, so take us out.
Facebook.com/Podzilla1985 once Facebook starts working again.
Right.
Give us a like. Talk to each other. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we have great friends. Zane Laney, Ciro Villegas. Jesse's better at it. I hope you guys are friends as well. Because we
guys
don't-
should become friends.
Yeah, we want to
Now
create
kiss.
connections.
So Facebook.com/Podzilla1985, Twitter.com/Podzilla1985.
That one works.
Patreon.com/Podzilla1985. For
That one
$1,
works.
you get the pre-shows. Listen to me absolutely put my entire foot in my mouth on tonight's pre-show.
About Allie.
And then, but every little bit helps. We appreciate it. And then, those are the three big ones.
New episode
Yes.
of Cape Championship Wrestling went up on YouTube.com. And it's important because this particular show was Dalton's hardcore match with Justin the Juice Smart. And it is legitimately a fantastic match that you will remember. And
Where all those gifts came from on Facebook.
Yes.
That I
Also,
magically forgot some of.
It's also cool to think, Dalton, that you have been involved and you've had how many matches at CCW? 5, 6?
5.
And of those, at least 2 of them were really good, memorable matches that people talk about very
Yeah.
happily. So, kudos to you. Legitimately, kudos to you. We're proud of Dalton. All right, we're going to be out of here. We're going to see you guys tomorrow with After Dark. We don't know who our guest is going to be. Allie, what do you work?
I get off at 6.
Okay, so Allie will be our guest, unless Dalton wants to do it too. We'll have multiple people. We'll
I
have
think I'm free.
orgy. All right.
We're gonna go pick
No,
up.
Bye,
I have
guys.
Huntsberger's podcast, yeah.
The Kevin Huntsberger? All right. What is that a picture of?
Kofi versus everybody.
Kofi versus everyone.
It's like
It's
Scott
Scott
Pilgrim.
Kofi Kingston versus
That's
the world.
awesome. All right. That's worth looking at. Repost that on Twitter. Everyone needs to see that. Podzilla. Bye, guys. Love you.